Today's video, I'm going to go over some word problems, so let's get to it. Example number 1. You rent a car in Spain with a gas mileage rating of 13.2 km per liter. What is its rating in miles per gallon? So basically, this question is just to convert 13.2 km per liter to miles per gallon. You would have 13.2 km per liter and they wanted mile per gallon. In order to do this question, we can refer back to our common conversion factor tables, and if you look back, you can see that 1 kilometer is equal to 0.6214 miles and 1 gallon equal to 3.785 liter. So, like I mentioned in the last video, we can write down as 1 kilometer per 0.6214 mile or 0.6214 mile per 1 kilometer. We can also do 1 gallon per 3.785 liter or 3.785 liter per 1 gallon. So now, if we start with 13.2 kilometer per liter, I can choose to convert kilometer to mile first or liter to gallon first. It doesn't matter. Usually I wanted to work with the one on the top first, so I'm going to convert kilometer to mile. In that case, I need to cancel out kilometer. I need kilometer on the bottom, which means I need to use this one. So 0.6214 mile per 1 kilometer. Kilometer got cancelled. Now I've got my mile. Now I'm not gonna do anything else on the top because I already got my desired unit. I have to cancel out liter, so I need to use this conversion factor. Then I would get 3.785 liter per 1 gallon. Liter got cancelled. I'm left with my per gallon. And if I put that in the calculator, I would get 31.0 mile per gallon. So let's do another example. A cyclist rides at an average speed of 15 miles per hour. If she wants to bike 314 kilometers, how long in hours must she ride? So usually I'm going to read all of the question and then circle down carefully what is given and what is asking. In this case, I'm given 15 miles per 1 hour. I can write this way or I can write 1 hour per 15 miles. I am also given 314 kilometers and they ask me hours. Since the question is asking for hour, I know in this case I have to cancel out the length unit, which is mile. And they also told me 314 kilometers, so I can start with that. If I start with 314 kilometers, I need to cancel out kilometer, and then my next conversion would be mile per 1 hour so that I can get my hours. I know that in 1 kilometer is equal to 0.6214 mile, so I can use that. My kilometer got cancelled, my mile got cancelled, I'm left with hours. If I do it in the calculator, I would get 13 hours, my answer. Whatever you wanted to find, like the desired unit, you will always want it to be on the top. In this case, it's right here. If you put hour on the bottom, first of all, your unit's not going to cancel out. Like my mile is not going to cancel out. And second, instead of getting hour, you would get 13 something per hour, which is not what the question is asking about. Let's try another example. What is the cost in dollars of 18 carats if 4 carats weigh 1.5 pound and the price of carats is 59 cents per kilogram? Usually for word problem, you have to read the question carefully and then write down what is given to you. In this case, they are telling me that 4 carats weigh 1.5 pound and then it's going to be 59 cents per kilogram. And they're asking how much in dollar of 18 carats. So I'm going to write what is given to me. Given 4 carats per 1.5 pound or 1.5 pound per 4 carats, and also 1 kilogram equal to 59 cents or 59 cents in 1 kilogram. I wrote both of them because it's easier to see which one you can use to cancel the unit out. And they're asking for how much dollar in 18 carats. That means I can start with 18 carats. So because I want to cancel out carats, that means I have to use this conversion factor. 4 carrot, 1.5 pound. Carrot got cancelled. Now I'm left with pound, but our other conversion factor is kilogram per cents. That means I need another conversion factor from the table. We know that 1 kilogram equal to 2.205 pounds. Because I want to cancel pound, I need to put the pound on the bottom. 2.205 pounds per 1 kilogram. Pounds got cancelled. I'm left with kilogram. Now I can use my conversion factor here. Because I want to cancel out kilogram, I need to use this one. 1 kilogram, 59 cents. Now I've got my cost in cents, but because the question wanted in dollars, I need to do another conversion factor. So 100 cents in $1. Cents got cancelled. I've got my answer in dollar, which is $1.8. And that's the answer. I've got questions like, can I start with 4 carats per pound or 1 kilogram per 59 cents and stuff like that? You can, but you need to make sure that the unit is going to cancel out and what you want is going to be like the unit on the top. Let's do another example. There are exactly 60 seconds in a minute, exactly 60 minutes in an hour, exactly 24 hours in a mean solar day, and 365.24 solar days in a solar year. How many seconds are in a solar year? Just like what we have done so far, I'm going to write down what is given to me. I know they tell me that 1 minute is 60 seconds, 1 hour is 60 minutes, 1 solar day is 24 hours, and 1 solar year is 365.24 solar day. With all of these conversion factors, I can also write it like the opposite way, 60 seconds per 1 minute, as long as I don't confuse them writing 60 minutes per 1 second, which is not the right conversion. But I can write the opposite way depending on which conversion factor that help me cancel out the unit that I don't want. So they asking for how many seconds are in a solar year. That means our unit at the end will be second per solar year. If you read it again carefully, we know that there is 365.24 solar days in a solar year. So I can start with that. 365.24 solar day, I'm going to abbreviate it per 1 solar year. Now, because I want my solar year as my final unit, that means I'm not going to cancel this out. It's going to stay at the bottom. I'm going to just cancel out the solar day. I know that I can use this conversion factor. I want to cancel out solar day. That means I have to write solar day on the bottom, 24 hours on the top. My solar day got cancelled. Now I'm left with hour, but I want second. So I can do 1 hour per 60 minutes and then 1 minute per 60 seconds. Now my hour got cancelled, minute got cancelled. Now I'm left with second per solar year as my answer. And then if I do it in the calculator, I would get 3.1557 times 10 to the 7 seconds per solar year. That's my final answer. Okay, I hope it's helpful so far, but let's do another 2 examples. My chemistry professor gives 4 pens, 2 black and 2 blue, to each of her 25 students. If there are 12 pens in a package and each package costs $6.78, how much will the professor spend in total? So for word problem, you might feel really overwhelmed because there's so much information that they give you, but most of the time they try to just trick you into believing that the question is difficult because of a lot of words that they throw at you. In this case, if you see the word 2 black and 2 blue, those are just extra information that you don't need at all to solve your problem. Just remember that no matter how long the problem is, you just need to figure out, read the question, what is the question asking about and what is given, and how can you manipulate those given unit or given information to get to your answer to your question or the information that you want to find. In this case, I'm gonna start with writing down what is given to me, like what I usually did so far. So given, I would have 1 student per 4 pens, 1 package per 12 pens, and then 1 package costs $6.78, and there are 25 students. just like any other problem, you can start with any given conversion factor as long as it's going to help you canceling out the unit and get you to the desired unit you want. In this case, instead of just starting from 25 students, which is going to be like an easier way to find the answer, I'm gonna drag starting from 1 student for 4 pence. So if I start with 1 student per 4 pence, so I know that I want dollar to be my answer. In that case, I need to make sure to find a way to cancel out student and pence and get dollar on the top, because if I get dollar on the bottom, I'm not gonna get something dollar, but I've got something no unit per dollar, which is not what I want. So 1 student for 4 pence, I can cancel pen. For example, I can use 12 pence per 1 package. Pence got cancelled. Then I also cancel package, so 1 package per $6.78 package got cancelled. Now I can cancel student. I can use 1 per 25 students. So this number 1 here is just like a placeholder because 25 students mean the same as 25 per 1. 25 divided by 1 is always gonna be 25. So student cancel. Now if you look carefully, you will get some number per dollar. This is not what you wanna get because like I said, you've got dollar at the bottom, but our question is asking how much it costs in dollar, not something how much it costs per something like no unit per dollar. In this case, you know you started with the wrong conversion factor. So instead of starting from 1 student for 4 pence, you can start with 4 pence per 1 student. And you will do the same thing as what we just did so far, trying to cancel out the unit. So I can use 12 pence per 1 package here, and then 1 package $6.78, and then pen got cancelled, package got cancelled. Now I'm left with dollar per student. I also have student left, so I can cancel out student. So student cancel with student. Now I would get my answer in dollar, which is $56.5. You can also start with 25 students. This is like my preferred way to start because it does not have anything on the bottom. So if you start with 25 students, you would do the same thing. So you wanted to cancel student, so you would use this conversion factor and then just follow up with everything that we have did. Then you would get the same answer, $56.5 after these cancel out each other. I usually like starting it from this one because it just makes me easier to see what I'm going to cancel out. But you can also, like I said, start with any conversion factor that you want and then work your ways to cancel out the unit you don't want and get to the right answer. And if you don't get to the right answer, you just need to manipulate the conversion factor a little bit. Like in this case, instead of using 1 student for 4 pence, I start with 4 pence per 1 student and then I get my answer. The last example, you want to bike 5,768 miles from the US to Germany. The average you can bike is 45 miles per day. How many seconds will it take you to arrive your destination? I just make up this question, so I know it's kind of impossible to bike from the US to Germany, but I just want you to practice this example. Like what we've been through so far, what I'm going to do is just read the question carefully, note down what the question is asking about, and write down what is given to me. In this case, they ask for how many seconds, and then they give me 45 miles per day, and they give me 5,768 miles. In that case, I know I'm going to cancel mile, and then I have to use other conversion factor that would get me from day to second. So given we have 45 miles per day, I can also write down 1 day per 45 miles, and given 5,068 miles, the conversion factor that we know is 1 day we have 24 hours, 1 hour 60 minutes, and 1 minute 60 seconds. So in this case, we just need to just cancel out every unit we don't want and get to second. So 5,768 mile. In order to cancel out mile, I can use 45 miles per 1 day. And then to cancel out day, I can use 1 day 24 hours. I can use 1 hour 6 minutes, and I can use 1 minute 60 seconds. Every unit cancel out. I've got my answer in second, which is going to be 1.1 times 10 to the 7th second. Another way is, if you remember 1 hour equal to 3600 seconds, you can also just use them here. So you can just use 1 hour 3600 seconds here, and you get your answer. If you don't want to start with mile, like I said, I prefer starting with that because there's no unit on the bottom. It's easier for me to see which conversion factor to use to cancel the mile out. But you can also start with 45 miles per day or 1 day per 45 miles, as long as you will get to the right unit that you want at the end. So that's it about dimensional analysis word problems from me. I hope it is really helpful for you. And just to let you know, I used to struggle a lot with words problem, but after so many practice, so many examples that I've done, it became easier. I used to be like, whenever I see word problems, oh my god, what am I going to do? Because there's so much information that they give us, which we actually sometimes don't need to use them all. So my trick is to read the question carefully, to note down what the question is asking about, and to note down what is given to you, and to also use your table to be able to recognize what unit you need to cancel out, what you need that they don't tell you, but you can get it from the table, and then work your ways to get the answer you want. So don't be discouraged because you cannot do this problem. Remember, practice makes perfect. Your progress is your progress, and it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Bye.